Open textbooks. Anybody own an open textbook? Heard of an open textbook? You've got Kindle. You could get free textbooks. Big movement in the States. Not really big here yet, but I think it's coming. Poland, the entire country, has moved its entire educational provision into the open textbooks domain. American publishers are quite significantly threatened by the open textbook movement. The open textbook movement is driven by the fact that in the US, nearly a third of your costs of being a student can be down to just buying the books that you require for learning. It's a very, very complicated world in the States in terms of publishers working in particular states. This has driven a lot of other groups funded by some of the tech companies to start building open textbooks. These are books that are available online for free, and they're open not just because they're online. You can edit them and change them and republish them and reissue them. So if you're a curator, or your teams are curating knowledge for you, and this stuff is out there for free, and you can localize it so it's more meaningful locally to your teams in your business, you might want to use open textbooks. The problem is they're all on biology or physics or chemistry, or at least they were. And increasingly there are open textbooks producers aiming it at the work market and CPD. This is one of our open textbooks. It's on biology, on RNA, I think this one. The critical thing is just to remember, although they exist at the moment mostly in the academic world, they are beginning to come and arrive in the CPD world. I think Area 9 very involved in this, and there are others as well, using this open technology. The critical thing, just to remind you, is you can take the book and re-edit it. You can say, hi, it's Andrew from the Open University. I'm just going to introduce you to DNA. Here's my video. Hello. By the way, if you need to talk to somebody afterwards, here's the phone number, here's the email address, here's the URL, our local intranet. You can localize it. As I say, mostly high school oriented, but they are coming in waves in the CPD field. I'm going to name a few of them. This is not an exclusive list. They mostly started on a site called OpenStax, mostly academically oriented and high school oriented, but not exclusively so. Bookboon, really big site, does the same. British Columbia campus, they're a big developer in this area. They've got some business development activities, business skill activities. OpenLearn, the Open University's version of an open learning site with OERs all over it. And I'll just have the privilege of standing up here and being able to talk to you a little bit about OpenLearn because it's free. It's openly licensed, visited by about 6 million people every year. It's our site, sits alongside FutureLearn. But on OpenLearn, everything's free, including the certificates and the badges and the quizzes. There's 1,000 courses that sit on there. Some of them are about RNA. But I would say of those 1,000 courses, at least 300 are aimed at people in work. Most of our students are in work. Most of our students are studying with us because they want to do better at work. So we're releasing a large amount of content into the public domain, skills for work. They are all available as free courses. They are all available under an open license, which means you may copy them. Terms and conditions apply. Please read that very carefully. Do not sell them. Our lawyers will chase you if you sell them. And I've just chosen 3 or 4 on a wide range of subjects at pre-undergraduate, undergraduate and postgraduate level. These are just some of the 1,000 courses that are available. And they're not available just as a course within our open virtual learning environment. You can download them with the videos and take them as a Kindle or an EPUB 3. You can take them as a Word document. You can take them as a PDF. You can take them and make them yours. You can re-edit them. You can localize them. You can put your brand on them. The terms and conditions apply. That sounds like there's a price here to pay somewhere. There isn't. It's just we're not daft. We don't want our competitors to take this and sell it and build entirely new businesses on this that might threaten ours. We have a social mission. We need to help our students. We don't want to be sunk by other people living off us, basically. So we make this stuff available for free, but if you use them, you've got to make them available for free as well. So what does the open textbook world mean for, you can ignore the term textbook, sounds a bit schooly, it's just open materials open educational resources, OERs, if you don't know the field. And if you're looking for them and you don't want to just look up for hours, use that term OER. That means it's free, it's public, it's online, and it's adaptable by you. If you're confused or worried about rights issues, just go to a thing called creativecommons.org, and it will explain in one page what your rights are. But broadly speaking, if you don't have intent to sell the material or profit directly from it, you can almost certainly use it, adapt it, reversion it, but for the goodness of the community, you should really try and put it back out there and share it again. So what does this mean for learning and development teams? It's free. There are no hidden catches here. This is free learning materials, mostly schools-based for a long period of time, but increasingly CPD-oriented. There are large numbers of people that are producing this, and the quality is going up and up and up. It's not just flat text. These books, if you own a Kindle, you can play videos in them, you can touch the interactive. You very often cannot complete the quiz and pass the data of the quiz back to the learning record. You might have to return to the site where you got that to do that. They can be edited, and I think it gives you the opportunity, going back to Knowles and the knowledge building community, to use your teams to find this stuff, and for you to be the curator of that knowledge, to be able to localize it and make it meaningful for your own organization. So definitely use this term, OER. In fact, anybody that uses Google Chrome, there are even specialized searches that will only find OERs for you. It is not rocket science, but it's not easy to edit a book. But if you've got a webmaster, mistress, they will be able to do it. One page of readingcreativecommons.org will give you enough information about the rights. Your lawyers will not freak out. They will freak out, but they don't need to freak out. And you could make them part of a curated service. We do it at the OU. We've got loads of stuff, but we have a curator of knowledge for our teams. They mostly bring external stuff and mix it with internal stuff. Weekly or monthly newsletter goes out to all the teams and says, this is what's available, go off and try it. And people are beginning to add to that process now. And they trust that source more than they trust any other source of information, because their peers are playing a very significant role in curating that content. So they happen to be expressed as ebooks, but you can download them as courses or PDFs. But OERs, and if you wanted to start somewhere, I would say this, wouldn't I? You could start with OpenLearn. There are probably 300 at least courses on CPD-related training. If you take them on the website, you get a certificate, and you might get an electronic badge, and you can keep the profile of your learning there. If you take them away from the website, you just read them as an ebook. It doesn't have to be on a Kindle. For those that don't realize, you can read an ebook on a standard computer. It just doesn't have all the fancy page-turning experiences. You could, and there are others, but I showed you some of the tools that allow people to group together and pull learning together. One that isn't in this presentation, but I should have added, is a system called ELGG, E-L-G-G, which is an open source technology you can download, build a team around it. They can bring the learning to it and begin to curate learning for themselves. At the moment, it's mostly full of sports fanatics, but I think over time, something like ELGG or OpenCreate or Merlot will become large, free, open, editable sources of learning, in which you can have your own space and your own representation and your own reputation as a great teacher and or learner. And that should keep Malcolm Knowles reasonably happy, but most importantly, it should keep your learners reasonably happy with a much more personal service and a contextualized service. I did, but for rights reasons I couldn't, have a picture of Michael Corleone here. And for those that, please tell, some of you must have seen The Godfather. It's not personal, it's business. Well, currently, learning is business. But if learning is only business and not personal, we're in really big trouble in the long term. So it's personal, not business, is the message I'd probably like you to take home.